Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about some books that are coming out this year throughout the rest of the latter half of the year of 2023 that I cannot wait for. These are new releases that are on my TBR, new releases that are going to be big and that I feel like everybody should read and that I just want to talk about because I'm so excited and so hyped for all of these. My name is Andrew if you don't know me, but we're just gonna jump right into the video and start with the first book, which is called Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This one came out on June 13th, so it's already passed, but when I made my list, it wasn't out yet. I do own Love Theoretically. I bought it recently because I really want to read it this weekend. I'm going camping. I feel like it'll be a good time to read a little romance. But Love Theoretically is a book about Elsie and Jack, these two. Elsie is a physicist, she's a professor, but she doesn't make enough money yet. So what she does on the side is basically like an escort service where she is people's fake girlfriends. And her favorite client has an older brother who is Jack. And Jack is just this kind of pessimistic guy that's just always around, and he is the one who works for the MIT department, which is where she wants to land a job. Jack is extremely arrogant and Elsie just does not like him, but as she is going with her favorite client more and more, she is around his older brother Jack, and things begin to heat up around both of them once he realizes who she is, what her job is, things like that. They both have a lot of the same interests because, like I said, he works at MIT and he's into physics as well, so it's just a whole thing. And if there's one thing Ali Hazelwood can do, it's write the same plot over and over, but she can do it so well, and I don't even care because I love her books. This one I feel like is going to be really good, and my friend Sarah loves this book. We both love Ali Hazelwood. We met her together. She said this one is the closest to feeling like The Love Hypothesis was, because I feel like Ali Hazelwood kind of dropped the ball with Love on the Brain, but this one she said was really good. So I trust her. I'm excited. It's been hyped. We're gonna find out if it's good. I will let you guys know, of course. The next new release that I want to talk about is Immortal Longings by Chloe Gong. This one is coming out on July 18th. This one is about three characters, Kala, Anton, and August. All three of them are entering a games, like a tournament that their kingdom holds, but they are all entering for very different reasons. We know from the synopsis that Kala's entire family was massacred, her parents, you know, everybody, and Kala's the one that did it. So she's seeking some sort of revenge on her own family, and I just want to know why. What did they do? What did she learn? What drove her to killing her entire family and everybody that was like in the castle or in wherever they all were? So she's entering the games to finish her revenge, to finish the job and get her revenge finally on everybody. She wants to bring down her uncle at last, and not only him but also the entire monarch. And then we have Anton, who had a childhood lover who's been in a coma for a really long time, and somehow the only way he can help her is by possibly winning the games. And another thing about this whole tournament is that the way you play is you are able to jump into different bodies, which I think is really cool, and I don't know how that's gonna work, but I feel like Chloe Gong, I trust her, she could do it well, and it's gonna be super intricate and very fun. Sorry if the angle changed a little bit, my camera is just acting weird. But we don't really know that much about August. He's the son of the king, and all he really wants to do is help mend the issues in Talon, which is the entire kingdom. It seems like there's going to be a romance between Kala and Anton, and I'm kind of excited for that because Anton is trying to save his childhood love, or maybe just his childhood best friend, his childhood infatuation, I don't know, but that seems like it's going to be a mess, and the three characters seem like they have very dynamic roles to play, and it's just going to be epic, I feel like. But I have seen some people saying that the reviews are not that good because there are arcs out there, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen many booktubers or bookstagrammers talking super highly as if this is the next best thing, so I'm a little worried, but who knows, I still have hope that it's going to be really good. Now I want to talk about Lightbringer, which is by Pierce Brown. It's coming out on July 25th, which is also my husband's birthday. Just makes the day even better. But Lightbringer is the sixth book in the Red Rising world. We have Red Rising, Golden Sun, Morning Star. Then we have Iron Gold, Dark Age, and Lightbringer. There's a lot to unpack there. I can't really go into the details of the book because there is a lot of history you need to know before you can read Lightbringer. I myself have not even read Dark Age, so I have a lot of work to do before July 25th, and like I said, I was taking Love Theoretically. I'm taking that book and Iron Gold, and then hopefully when I come back from vacation I can read Dark Age, because by July 25th, I'm gonna be ready. I just need to be done with my rereads and read Dark Age, and then I'm gonna go on with Lightbringer. One thing about Lightbringer is that I feel like it's gonna be really sad and crazy and wild because Pierce Brown, he just knows how to write sci-fi. He just knows how to write a saga. Like, he's just insane. His mind is so great. Lightbringer is going to be so good. Here's your every video mention from me to read Red Rising. This is your sign. Go read it. Next, we are going to talk about a young adult book by Michelle Quach, who also wrote Not Here to Be Liked, which is such a good young adult contemporary novel. I loved it so much. She writes about high school age characters, but it feels like a very mature read, not like there's spice, none of that. It's just the story is so good and the characters are so real and have, you know, some great topics that are in the books. So I definitely recommend her books. But this one is coming out on August 1st, and it's called The Boy You Always Wanted. This one is about Francine and Ollie. Francine is a girl who is spending time as much as she can with her grandfather, who is going to pass away soon. The only thing he really wants to see in the time he has left in the world is an heir that's going to continue their family traditions. So Francine requests Ollie's help in being her fake boyfriend so that her grandpa can go away knowing that there will be an heir to their family traditions. And Ollie thinks Francine is blunt but also cute, and he reluctantly agrees. So we have a fake dating situation going on, but there's also another aspect of the book where Francine is learning more about Ollie, and she learns things she doesn't expect, and maybe there is a part of her that always wanted a certain boy, but the person you want isn't always what you expect them to be and what you thought they would be. So it's just gonna be great. I think it's gonna be a really cute young adult book. And the other book she wrote that I read did have like a little bit of an emotional pull on me, and I hope this one does too. I feel like she might be a very formulaic author and write similar in all of her books, and I wouldn't be mad at it because I think she is a really talented author. Coming out in September on the 26th is The Fragile Threads of Power by V.E. Schwab. This is a continuation of the A Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. We have the original trilogy and then we're continuing. I really did enjoy A Darker Shade of Magic. It's one of those books that's talked about a lot. It's a series that's well loved throughout the book community, and I get why. V.E. Schwab is really talented. She writes just really impressive books and they're so detailed. Her books are really less on the romance and more on the plot and the magic, and she's an expert at crafting magic and world building and stuff like that. So I'm excited to be going back with Lila and all the characters from A Dark Shade of Magic. I actually requested an arc for The Fragile Threads of Power on NetGalley and I got approved, so I will be reading it a little bit before September. Hopefully I get to it maybe in August. I like to read my arcs like a month ahead if I can, so I'm going to be reading it early. I feel like I need to brush up on A Dark Shade of Magic because it's been a while since I read them. Those books are a little bit older, but I'm probably just going to read like a synopsis online. But Fragile Threads of Power is just continuing it, and we have some new characters that we learned about in the original series, so we're going to continue on their stories. And I think it's going to be a good book, I hope. I feel like I just really want to have the same feel of the book, the same vibe, and feel like the world is the same. That's like the number one thing I'm hoping to get out of the book and what I could ask from V.E. Schwab. Also on September 26th, we have Felhard Huntsman by Chloe Gong. She has 2 books coming out this year. Immortal Longings was an adult fantasy book, and Felhard Huntsman is the sequel to Fell Lady Fortune, and it is a young adult fantasy. I cannot wait. I think this is a duology, I'm pretty sure, and I absolutely adored Fell Lady Fortune. I love Orion, I love Rosalind, they are everything to me, and I can't really tell you the synopsis because it's a sequel, but Rosalind, Lang, and Orion are 2 kind of misfit characters in Fell Lady Fortune. They end up having to be fake married, which is just always fun. They're going on missions, they're spies. There's a lot of intricacies with Chloe Gong's books, and that one, the series is no different. It's a spin-off kind of from These Violent Delights, but in Felhard Huntsman we are going to start off in pain. I already know because the way Felhard Fortune ended was just so rude of Chloe Gong. She didn't have to do that to the characters, and I know in Felhard Huntsman I am in for a treat. I'm in for a ride and I'm in for some pain, but hey, what can I say? I like pain in my books. It's a healthy dose of pain, I guess, so I'm excited. And I also got an arc of Felhard Huntsman, so I will be letting that book consume my entire life when I get to it, which again, I don't know when, but I will. I'll be writing a review on Goodreads, which I do for mostly all of my books, especially my arcs. So if you want to check that out, my Goodreads is linked below like always, but also if you just haven't checked out Felhard Fortune, you have to, because it's so good. In October on the 3rd, there is a book coming out that is called Night of the Witch. It is by two authors named Sarah Rosh and Beth Revis. Sorry, I couldn't remember the second one's name, because I know Sarah Rosh because she wrote Set Fire to the Gods with another author, and so on this one she's co-writing with Beth Revis. But Night of the Witch seems very interesting to me, and the way I saw it was because I was browsing NetGalley, as I always do every week, every day it seems like, and I saw that there was an arc up for request. I requested it, I got it, and I am so excited because Sarah Rosh, I feel like she wrote so good in Set Fire to the Gods. That series is a young adult fantasy duology. It's so good, just quick, easy, just to the point, great. Night of the Witch is about Fritzi, F-R-I-T-Z-I, Fritzi. She is a witch who is the lone survivor of a deadly attack on her entire witch coven. So nobody else survived except her. The people that attacked are called Hexenjägers. Hexenjäger, I don't know if I'm saying that right. I can't, I don't know. I read, but I don't know how to read those words. But I think it's Hexenjäger. I just don't know. Okay. And on the other side of that, we have Otto, who is a Hexenjäger himself, only he's kind of undercover because a long time ago he saw the group of Hexenjägers brutally murder his mom, and so he's kind of been undercover ever since, and they want him to think that that's not what happened, but he knows the truth. And so Fritzi and Otto end up working together, unexpectedly are thrown together in order to work, and basically they both want to end the Hexenjägers and get revenge for the people that they've lost. This does seem like the enemies to lovers trope maybe, but I'm more excited to see what the inner workings are of the magic system, of the witches, of what's going on. Why is this group of people just murdering people? What is, you know, the actual plot? What is going on here? What is the world? I'm excited to dive into just a whole new fantasy world, as I usually am, because I love fantasy, but this one piqued my interest and I'm gonna read it definitely before October and see how it is. Coming out on October 10th is Swordcatcher by Cassandra Clare, which is probably like my #1 book that I'm excited that is coming out this year because I love a Cassie Clare release. In Swordcatcher, we are reading about Kel, who was an orphan, who was stolen to be the swordcatcher for Prince Connor. And he got selected because he looks eerily close to Connor, and people can mistake him for him, and he is basically his body double, his protector, everything like that. And with that, the two of them grow up close as brothers. They grow up as best friends, and there is a lot of things going on in Castellane, which is the setting. It is a new world, a new era for Cassandra Clare, and the goings on in Castellane are getting more dangerous by the day, and so Kel's life is constantly in danger, and he's grown up kind of just knowing that one day he's gonna die for the prince. That is his job, that is his one life's purpose. But that's also really hard when you are just in somebody's shadow and you're just raised to die for him. So of course he's going to question, who am I outside of Connor? Who am I if I could have my own identity? There's going to be a magic system. There's going to be a new fantasy world to dive into. There's going to be a lot of world building for Cassie to set up this new adult fantasy book. I can't believe we're getting adult fantasy from Cassie. It's going to be so good. George R.R. Martin actually wrote a blurb for the book, and I feel like if he likes a book, if he likes a fantasy, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be detailed. It's going to have a lot of meat in the story and a lot of complexity. just because he wrote Game of Thrones. Like, he has to know what he's talking about. And I think Cassie is just one of those authors that is like one of the greats. Like, I truly do. I know Shadowhunters is not everybody's cup of tea, but I feel like with Swordcatcher, she has this opportunity to show off a different skill set in her writing that she can't, because she's been so locked down in Shadowhunters and writing about the same characters in the same kind of books. But now we're unlocking adult era, we're unlocking a brand new fantasy world, and it's just gonna be so good. The final new release that I want to talk about is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is another author that is coming out with 2 new book releases this year, but Check and Mate is her first young adult novel. In this one, we are following Mallory and Nolan. Mallory is a young girl, I think the characters are like 17 and 18, who is working a dead-end job to try to provide for her mom and her sisters after the game of chess caused some sort of rift in her family, and they have not been doing well ever since this one event that has to do with chess. Mallory ends up finding herself in a chess tournament that if she enters, she could possibly win a lot of money. But in doing so, she's focusing and putting all her effort into the one thing that kind of was the downfall of her family. But still, she needs the money. She wants to feed and protect her mom and her sisters, so she's gonna do what she has to do. Nolan comes into play because he is the ultimate chess player. He is super good. He's going to enter the same tournament, and they are just complete rivals and just warring through chess throughout the entire book. And they keep going against each other over and over, even though they are attracted to each other while they are playing this game of chess for their own reasons. It seems like a really different book than what I've ever read. I've never read a book about chess before, especially in a romantic setting. I think Ali Hazelwood is just really smart, and when she writes about a topic, whether it's physics or neurosurgeons or chess, it's well thought out, and it's gonna teach you something as you're reading, even if it's just only one new thing you learn. That's one thing I do like about Ali Hazelwood. Now, I haven't read this one, so if it doesn't teach me anything about chess and it's just pure romance, please don't come for me. But this one comes out in November, and I got an ARC already, as you can see. Thank you, Penguin Teen. I love Penguin Teen so much. But I'm gonna check this one out when, I don't know, in October maybe? Closer to fall, and we'll see how it goes. But I am excited for all of the Ali Hazelwood I have to read. I'm excited for Lightbringer and Swordcatcher and so many good books this year. These sun glares are really getting on my nerves. I'm so sorry. But that is all the books. Let me know down below if there are any new releases coming out in 2023 that I missed that you are looking at. I'm gonna put them on my radar, put them on my TBR. Let me know what is going on in your reading life and what I should read. If you want to check out any of my social media, that is all linked down below. Also, be sure to check my shorts page because I upload shorts like every single day that I don't upload a video. And there are ways to help support my channel as well down below in the description if you want to check that out. I really appreciate it. But that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!